I know that you guys are here because you want to hear about these events. Specifically, I'm going to be mostly talking about the first event. There's 2 events. I'll touch a little bit on that second one, but mostly just been planning really hard for the first event, which is happening May 20th through 22nd. And first of all, I want to share the actual event title with you guys. So, boom. The Midwest Bracketfest. And here you go. 11K doubleheader. I'm really excited about this, you guys. Really happy with how this logo and how the name of the race turned out. It worked. I spent way too much time coming up with this. I overanalyzed pretty much everything. But the name of the first ever GallStar Bracket Races event, it is the Midwest Bracketfest 11K doubleheader. I like how that sounds, and I'm excited about it because there's 2 $11,000 to win races, and of course, we're going to get into the entire flyer that I kind of an early version of the flyer. We're going to get into all of that so you guys can see what the deets are, okay? But the second biggest question, actually probably the top question that I got is where is this happening? Where is the location? So, boom. The first event is at Eddyville, Raceway Park. The Midwest's finest 8th mile drag strip. I can't think of a better place to host the first ever GallStar Bracket Races event. Of course, this brand is, I'm coming together with this brand trying to build this up in the Midwest. I want to host like the premier races here in the Midwest because you guys, there's some stellar racers here in this part of the country. I think there's not quite enough opportunities for those racers, and I think what we've done with the GallStar brand and what we can bring to the table here with the bracket races is next level, and I want to be able to do that right here in the Midwest. So this is the Midwest Bracketfest 11K doubleheader, and I'll zoom around on the screen here so you can see what's going on. First thing you're going to notice right here at the top, only 300 entries accepted. What's important to me with this brand, and you probably have seen it in the intro, you've probably seen it on the Facebook page, what the mission here is at the GallStar Bracket Races brand. Racer experience is right at the top of that for me. I want every single racer to have an amazing experience when they come to one of these races. And I think a critical piece to that is not being racing in the middle of the night, right? And I think just having a 300 car cap is an integral part of that racer experience, in my opinion. So that's why that decision was made. We're capping this race at 300 entries. 240 of those are going to be in the box side. 60 of them will be reserved for no box. And we'll get into this a little bit more when we start talking about the rules and stuff down at the bottom of the flyer. But dragsters and door cars called to the lane separately. No box is going to be a completely separate side of the field. So they will be obviously called to the lane separately. They will carry their own bye. The no box winner will then join the box side when there's one remaining. The dragsters and door cars are not, I repeat, dragsters and door cars are not separate classes. They are called to the lane separately, but the way that we have this set up is a little bit different than some of you may be used to, and I'm going to go into that in thorough detail here by the time that the stream is over. I hope everybody will have a clear understanding of what I'm aiming for with this. But the dragsters and door cars are one side of the field. They are called to the lane separately, so door cars should race door cars, but there's no guarantee that there won't be a dragster door car lineup. The last door car in the lanes could, if there's one left, could very well be racing the first dragster in the lanes, and we're going to cover that in more detail here as we get moving through. I don't want to get stuck on that right now, but that is something that I want to just try to be very clear with everybody on. That is, I think, the biggest difference in this race, race structure-wise, that people maybe aren't quite as used to, at least here in the Midwest. So we'll talk about that more. Moving right along. Again, this event is May 20th through the 22nd of 2022. So let's get down here into this payout structure. This is what everybody wants to see. What's up? 2 races, 1 weekend. The Midwest Bracketfest 11K doubleheader is 2 $11,000 to win bracket races, and the runner-up is going to see $4,000. I think this is really cool, you guys. Pull up for the final round of the Bracketfest. And, assuming nothing has been discussed earlier on, winner and runner-up are talking about $15,000 in the staging lanes. I think that's pretty cool. So $11,000 to win, $4,000 to runner-up. Semis is $850. And with this 300 car cap, and the way that we have this structured with dragsters and door cars, we're going to be looking at that final round being round number 9. So sixth round win here, 500. Round 5 win is going to be 250. Round 4 win, 175. Round 3 win, going to get a cool 100 back. Re-entry into a re-entry round. So you're going to spend $75 if you're unfortunate enough to not turn the win light on in round 1. Going to get yourself into a re-entry round. Okay? Entering into the Midwest Bracketfest for a 2-day single entry is going to be $300. And a 2-day double entry, a little discount here, $550. If you'd like to double enter, we'll talk more about double enters once we get down to the rules section again. So spectators and crew, $10 a day. There will be pre-entry required because, accepting gate entries isn't really that compatible with trying to hold this 300 car cap. And I want to take that 300 car cap very seriously because, like I said, the racer experience is very important to me, and I want to make sure that this race maintains that cap, if that makes sense. So more details about pre-entry. Pre-entry is not open. It will not be open until probably sometime in January. So again, make sure you hit the like button on the GallStar Bracket Races Facebook page so that you don't miss out when we open up pre-entry and start talking more about that. Let's scroll over here. We're going to have a little bit of a last chance lotto going on. So this is something that I've been wanting to do. So if you lose, anytime before round 3, we will have $10 tickets available, and one lucky winner will be able to jump back into round 3 based off the last chance lotto. And then of course, this event is going to be live streamed directly to the GallStar TV bracket racing channel on YouTube. We will be live streaming this event. It's very important to me to showcase the racers that we have here in the Midwest. That is, like I kind of mentioned in the video that I hyped up all like last week and released with the announcement about this brand. The big thing to me is there's so many awesome racers right here in this part of the country, and I want to shed some light on them racers, and I feel like a live stream is the absolute best way to do that. So we'll be racing on the big stage for the entire world to see. Super excited about that. And plan on watching the Midwest Bracketfest on GallStar TV. We will be doing pre-entry. That will be done through gallstartv.com. So it'll actually be gallstartv.com/bracket races. And over at gallstartv.com/bracket races, you will not find anything over there yet. That site is under construction. I've been working as hard as I can to get all of that put together. I'm trying to stay ahead of this. I'm trying to be prepared and do everything that I can to make the whole pre-entry experience and the entire race experience, like I said, the absolute best as it can be for racers and family. So I have a lot of ideas in the works. There's a lot of things that are in the works in the background right now that are not on this flyer. Like, if everything comes together, which I'm going to work my tail off to make it happen. If everything does come together like I want, this flyer will probably have a page too. It'll probably have a back to it. So definitely make sure that you're, like I said, like on the page, because there's going to be a lot of additions to the flyer. There's going to be a lot of announcements made throughout the off season here as we approach the end of May and the Midwest Bracketfest 11K doubleheader. So pre-entry race rules. The race rules will kind of go through them here in a little bit, but they're hard to read on a flyer. They're always hard to read on a flyer, especially if you get quite a bit in there and you try to be detailed and thorough like I do. It gets hard to read on a race flyer. So I will have those printed up nice, kind of a bullet point form over on gallstartv.com/bracket races. So, but gallstartv.com/bracket races is not completely set up yet. So stay tuned for that. Let's go through a couple rules here. And like I said, I did the best I could to write these, and I will try to make them read a little bit easier. I'll try to wordsmith them a little bit. This is definitely not the final version of the rules, okay? That's why I am going to be setting up that gallstartv.com/bracket races to try and make the rules and everything easy for everybody to find and understand. I did try to put them on the flyer as best I could here, but double entries will be permitted. And, you know, this is pretty normal, pretty standard. No car or driver may go down the track more than twice per round, so you can double enter your same car. It's just no car can go down the track more than 2 times in a round, and no driver can go down the track more than 2 times per round. So double any which way, basically, permitted. Re-entry round winners will advance to round number 2. For the ladder, so I kind of started talking about this before. There will be 2, not 3. There will be 2 sides of the field here. So it's box and no box. Now, box door cars and dragsters will be called to the lanes separately, but are not guaranteed to run separate. So, to clarify, in the event that there is an odd number of box door cars, the last box door car in the lanes will run the first dragster in the lanes. Okay? Now, to further clarify, no box is a separate side of the field. So no box will run their own side of the field, and they will carry their own buys. And it guarantees that no box will only run no box until only one remains. Okay? So no box is going to be its own side of the field. They're going to have their own buys. But box door car and box dragster, so box door car and dragsters, they're running the same side of the field, and we're going to be calling them up to the lane separately. But the last box door car in the lanes will run the first dragster in the lanes, should it work out that way. Now, the next question will be about buy runs. And we'll talk more about how we're going to be picking the buy runs and everything. But if you're a box door car and you earn the buy, you will, with that entry anyways, you will need to wait until the end of the round, until the dragsters have completed racing that round before you can take your buy, so that we can verify that there is indeed a buy. So if you're on the buy as a box door car, you will either get the buy or you will race the last dragster in the lanes. Okay, that's how that's going to work. Entries will be placed on a ladder based on reaction time at 16 cars or less. So once we get down to 16 or less, we'll go onto a ladder, and that ladder will be structured based off of reaction time. Now, if we're at 16 or less, there could be, don't quote me on this, I might be wrong. There could be like a couple, no box will still run no box. Okay, that's priority number 1. And then reaction time will structure the ladder. Okay, that's at 16 cars or less. Every round at that point, it will get restructured based off reaction time. Okay. Reladdered each round. So buy runs. Potential buy runs are a random draw for round number 1. All the runs, the potential buy runs, are determined by the best winning reaction time of the previous round. So ties are broken firstly by the best package. So if 2 people are trip zip, it'll go to the best package. Now, if 2 people are trip zip dead 3, so they're still tied, then we're going to go by whoever did it first. So it'll be by the first occurrence. So that's the double tiebreaker, if you will, for the buy. That's how buys are going to be determined. No box has their own separate buy, as stated. Box door car and dragsters do not have separate buys. In the event that a box door car earns the potential buy, the box door car driver must wait until the end of the dragster portion of the round is completed to confirm if there is indeed a buy. So we've covered that a couple times. I hope that is clear. Lane choice. A driver may not switch lanes after entering the staging lanes. Pretty standard rule there. After the lanes run out of even left-right pairs. So you see this all the time. The left lane is full and there's nobody in the right lane, for example. Once that happens, after the lanes run out of even left-right pairs, the remaining cars will be paired front to back, and the front car will receive lane choice. Late arrivals at that point, when we start running them front to back, those late arrivals to the lanes at that point must go to the tail end of the single file line. That's just how that's going to be working. For breakdowns, so in the event that a driver's vehicle has a mechanical failure, the driver is allowed 1 courtesy vehicle change per race. And please come and get the race director approval first. So please come and talk to me about it if this happens. The vehicle a driver is changing to can no longer be in competition. So I'm just imagining, you know, in the later rounds, let's say this is round 5 or something, and your vehicle breaks, and your buddy is still in, you cannot race the same car as your buddy, right? It has to be a vehicle that is no longer in competition, okay? Payouts are guaranteed for this event. In the event that weather would shorten the event, remaining payouts will have to be split among the winners of the last completed round. So race director decisions are final. That's what I have so far for rules. Man, I blasted through them quickly. As I stated a couple times, this is a very, very early version of the flyer, you guys. It is not complete. Like I said, I have a lot more of these racer experience kind of ideas, racer and family experience kind of ideas that I want to bring to the table. But I had to get to this point. I had to get the race built first. So the race is built. Now we're basically, you know, adding the goodies on top of it. Okay, so a lot of announcements yet to come. A lot of additions to the flyer yet to come. That's why this flyer is not going to be going out quite yet. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Please share this stream so other people can see it. And that's it. We're going to shut this thing down. Thank you guys. Later. Follow the GallStar Bracket Races Facebook page. Of course, you'll be kept up to date on all of the GallStar TV platforms where you normally get your GallStar TV news, but GallStar Bracket Races is the absolute best place that you can go, right there on the Facebook page, to keep up to date specifically with what we are coming out with on these bracket races.